Hello and welcome, our blood viewers, to RTD's News English edition. As usual, we bring to you the major and top headlines of tonight. President Gele arrives in Angola for the 7th European Union African Union Summit. Following that up, the official launch of the Djiboutian e-skills project, the Ministry of Digital Economy and Chamber of Commerce. And on the international scene, the UN, European Union, is committed to ensuring effective representation of developing countries. Those were the major and top highlights. Welcome back to our newsroom, our blood viewers. African and European leaders convened this morning in Luanda for the African Union-European Union Summit. The two-day summit aims to strengthen economic and political ties between the two continents. More than 80 heads of state and government, including the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, who is leading a high-level delegation, are taking part in the meeting, where discussions will focus on trade, migration, and access to essential raw materials. The summit coincides with the celebration of 25 years of African Union-European Union partnership. Leaders from both continents intend to redefine their cooperation in strategic areas such as peace, trade, health, and multilateralism. According to experts' estimates and analyses published in 2023, the European Union remains Africa's leading trading partner, with goods and service exchange reaching $538 billion, reflecting the continent's growing strategic weight, bolstered by its mineral wealth and energy potential. Under the leadership of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, the Republic of Djibouti stands out as a major actor both in Africa and globally, a position strengthened by its geostrategic location and its contributions to key priorities including peace and stability, economic integration, energy transition, and the use of dialogue as a tool for conflict resolution, objectives that fully align with the vision of the African Union-European Union Summit. Let's now listen to the speech of the President of the Republic, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh.
Allow me to thank my brother, His Excellency João Lourenço, President of the Republic of Angola, and the brotherly Angolan people for the warm welcome we have received since our arrival and for the exemplary organizations of this meeting. It is with pleasure and renewed optimism that I participate in this 7th African Union and European Union Summit here in Luanda. The proceeding of this 7th Summit come at a time when our two continents are facing major challenges, but they also offer crucial opportunities for the future of our peoples. I commend the committed political will for consultation and coordination that drives us and brings us together here today. Since the 6th African Union and European Union Summit in Brussels in 2022, which marked the launch of the Common Visions 2030, our relations with the European Union have reached a decisive stage. This vision now constitutes the strategic roadmap for a modernized, balanced, and result-oriented partnership in a world marked by geopolitical fragmentation, the erosions of international law, and the proliferation of crises. Africa and Europe must remain staunch defenders of a renewed, inclusive, and effective multilateralism. We share the responsibility of preserving an international order based on rules, cooperation, and respect for sovereignty. Co-President, I would like to address a subject that directly impacts international stability, the security of the Red Sea. This maritime space is not simply a logistical corridor, it represents a vital artery of international trade, a pivot of energy security, and a strategic link between Europe, Asia, and Africa. As you are all aware, since the end of 2023, navigation in the Red Sea has faced serious threats, including armed attacks against ships, persistent regional tensions, and a resurgence of piracy in the Gulf of Aden. These acts have disrupted international supply chains, increased maritime transport costs, and weakened the economies of both continents. Djibouti, located at the heart of the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, fully assumes its responsibilities as a littoral state. However, we reiterate that the stabilization and lasting security of the Red Sea can only be achieved through a collective, structured, and inclusive approach based on close coordination between the African Union and the European Union. The security of this strategic waterway must become a joint priority.
Now with the second part of His Excellency's speech.
In this regard, I wish to commend the European Union's commitment through Operation ENAVFOR ASPIDES, which has been extended until 2026. This initiative has contributed to strengthening maritime security in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. However, the challenges we face exceed the capabilities of a single operation. Therefore, to ensure lasting security, it is essential that maritime cooperation be built, governed, and jointly managed by Europe, the coastal states, and African regional organizations. Djibouti supports the swift finalization of a clear and operational SOFA agreement, as well as enhanced cooperation with Operation Atalanta. ASPIDES must now be part of an integrated regional architecture in line with the principles of Common Vision 2030. Mr. Co-chairs, Djibouti, host countries of the IGAD headquarters and current chair, wishes to emphasize the crucial role of this organization for peace and stability in the Horn of Africa. Between 2022 and 2025, our region was profoundly affected by the war in Sudan, the fragile situation in South Sudan, migratory pressures with nearly 300,000 migrants on our territory, and the resurgence of maritime insecurity. Faced with these challenges, IGAD remains the most credible regional platform for mediation, preventive diplomacy, early warning, border security, and regional integration. We call on our European partners to strengthen their support in line with the conclusions of the Djibouti-European Union dialogue on March 2024 and the commitments made during the consultations of May 2025. Finally, we can no longer afford to address our shared challenges with fragmented or ad hoc actions. This summit must be a moment of clarity and responsibility, a moment to redefine the foundations of a renewed partnership that places strategic investment and economic transformation at its core. The Republic of Djibouti remains fully committed to working with all its African and European partners to make the AU-EU partnership a model of modern, balanced, and forward-looking cooperation.
On the sidelines of the 7th African Union-European Summit, the President of the Republic of Djibouti, His Excellency Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, held talks with French President Emmanuel Macron. The meeting provided an opportunity to review the strong bilateral relations between Djibouti and France. Discussions focused on ways to deepen cooperation, strengthen exchange, and advance cooperation in key sectors for both countries. The importance of the African Union and European Union Summit in revitalizing strategic cooperation and boosting economic and trade relations was also highlighted. This meeting forms part of ongoing bilateral engagements aimed at reinforcing cooperation between the two long-standing partners, tied by historical, political, economic, and cultural links. Both head of states reaffirmed their shared commitment to pursuing a comprehensive strategic partnership spanning all sectors of activity and sustainable development. The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Mr. Abdul Qadir Hussein Umar, and the Ambassador of Djibouti to Ethiopia and Permanent Representative to the African Union, Mr. Abdi Mahmoud Abe, and the Ambassador of Djibouti to Belgium and Permanent Representative to the European Union, Mr. Adan Mohamed Delita, all took part in the discussions. As part of the 7th National Disability Week, the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, in close collaboration with the Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training, organized a large carnival this morning at the Specialized Center for the Education Children with Special Needs. The recreational and inclusive event forms part of national efforts to strengthen education, inclusion, and development for children with disabilities by showcasing their talents, boosting their self-confidence, and raising awareness about the need to appropriate supportive educational environments. The carnival was attended by the Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, the Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, and the Director of the Specialized Center, reflecting continued government commitment to disability rights and inclusive education. Agency officials, senior ministry staff, and the center's administrative and educational teams held the initiative success, which highlighted the vital role of educational institutions and partners in supporting children with special needs. The event concluded with cultural, recreational, and pedagogical activities that gave the children moments of joy and strengthened ties among families, educators, and partner institutions. Recreational and pedagogical activities that gave the children moments of joy and strengthened ties among families, educators, and partner institutions. The Director General of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, Mr. Duali Said Mahmoud, said that the carnival demonstrates the state's commitment to supporting children with special needs and advancing their social inclusion. The Minister of National Education and Vocational Training, Mr. Mustafa Mohammed Mahmoud, said that the carnival exemplifies the ministry's commitment to consolidating inclusive education and ensuring equal educational opportunities for all children without exception. Let's listen to the minister.
Vraiment, pour moi, c'est un grand plaisir.
It is with a profound sense of responsibility and commitment that I speak at this ceremony, organized as part of the 7th National Disability Week. This event, dedicated to the distribution of motorized tricycles to people with special needs, exemplifies the national commitment to promoting inclusion, mobility, and independence for all. The Ministry of National Education and Vocational Training places paramount importance on the issue of disability. Guaranteeing every child and young person equitable access to education without barriers or discrimination remains central to our mission. Educational inclusion is not a choice, but a fundamental right that requires concrete action, appropriate infrastructure, and strong partnership. In this regard, I would like to commend the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities for the remarkable work it carries out daily, as well as Qatar Charity for its unwavering and crucial support. The equipment distributed today will not only improve the beneficiaries' mobility, but also strengthen their active participation in social, education, and economic life. The Ministry of Education reaffirms its commitment to continue the implementation of inclusive educational programs, strengthening teacher teaching, and developing adapted programs that enable every learner with a disability to succeed and reach their full potential. By combining our efforts and resources, we are building a fairer, more inclusive society resolutely committed to equal opportunities.
As part of the 7th National Disability Week, the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities, in partnership with the humanitarian organization Qatar Charity, today held an official ceremony to hand over keys to three-wheeled mobility vehicles for solidarity and support intended for persons with disabilities. The ceremony held in the Haramus area took place in an atmosphere of solidarity and support intended to enhance beneficiaries' independence, facilitate their movement, and improve their living condition. These vehicles represent essential tools to enable people with limited mobility to access social services, participate in community life, and for some beneficiaries, develop independent economic activities. The handover was attended by Duali Saeed Mahmoud, Director General of the agency, the Qatari Consul in Djibouti, and Mrs. Ghada Izzeddin Ahmed, the Director of Qatar Charities Djibouti office, along with agency officials. The Qatar Charity representative reaffirmed the organization's commitment to continued support for social initiatives that bolster the independence and dignity of persons with disabilities. The initiative was highlighted as a flagship activity of the National Disability Week and an example of effective partnership working towards a more inclusive and equitable society. In his remarks, the director of the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities stated that this step strengthens the independence and dignity of persons with disabilities across the Republic. Let's listen to him.
On the occasion of the 7th National Disability Week, it's my honor to reaffirm the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities and unwavering commitment to strengthening the autonomy, mobility, and dignity of people with special needs. The official handed over of the three-wheeled motorcycles we are organizing today is a concrete action demonstrating our commitment to ensuring that every citizen, without distinction, has equitable access to social services, economic opportunities, and full participation in community life. I would like to take this opportunity to express my deep gratitude to Qatar Charity for its crucial support and exemplary partnership. Their renewed commitment to our cause illustrates the importance of collaboration between public institutions and humanitarian organizations in promoting an inclusive and supportive society. The NPH remains determined to pursue and expand its program for people with disabilities in order to sustainably improve their living conditions and guarantee respect for their fundamental rights.
Under the patronage of Mrs. Ulufa Abdismail, Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, the National Agency for Social Development held a formal certificate presentation ceremony for community mothers and community workers who completed a specialized training course in nutrition, maternal and child health, social activities, and youth health awareness, also including sexual health and substance abuse prevention. The ceremony held at the National Union of Women's headquarters is part of the Mobilizing Community for Better Nutrition project implemented by the agency with the support from the government of Japan. 135 participants benefited from the program. The event was attended by representatives of the World Bank, the World Food Program, the Japanese ambassador to Djibouti, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health, and other officials. Speakers praised the trainees' level and urged them to apply the skills acquired. The minister highlighted the collaborative efforts of the Ministry of Health, the National Agency for Social Development, and participating experts, and thanked international partners for their support. The minister also honored the National Union of Djibouti of Women for its ongoing role in supporting government policies to improve family welfare, women's empowerment, and child protection under the leadership of First Lady Madam Khadra Mahmoud Haid. The ceremony ended with the presentation of certificates and recognition of the trainees' achievements. The Secretary General of the National Union of Djiboutian Women stated that the training exemplifies national institutions' commitment to strengthening the capacities of community workers. The Vice President of the National Assembly emphasized that malnutrition is a fundamental issue requiring early detection and ongoing follow-up to protect children's futures and ensure healthy growth for coming generations. The Japanese ambassador to Djibouti said that the project reflects the country's commitment to supporting maternal and child health in Djibouti and to strengthening partnerships to improve nutrition. The General Secretary of the Ministry of Health praised the trainees' efforts and underlined the essential role they will play in raising health awareness within their communities. The Minister of Social Affairs and Solidarity, for her part, stressed that the community mobilization project constitutes a cornerstone for enhancing the welfare of vulnerable families and for improving nutrition and health within the National Social Protection Framework. The Minister for the Digital Economy and Innovation, Madam Mariam Hamadou, officially launched the e-Skills Electronic Skills project abroad for year program funded at 7 million euros and implemented by Expertise France. The project marks a new phase in Djibouti's national strategy for digital transformation and skills development. eSkills aims to strengthen digital competences and entrepreneurship among youth, women, and professionals, support private sector competitiveness, and create a dynamic, inclusive, and resilient digital ecosystem aligned with Djibouti Vision 2035. Their national roadmap and the 2025-2030 development plan, the program seeks to position Djibouti as a regional hub for digital skills and innovation with measurable results nationwide. The initiative focuses on project-based learning, the establishment of integrated digital infrastructure reaching all regions, and on promoting employment and entrepreneurship in promising sectors, supported by and strong national and international partnerships. eSkills intends not only to empower individuals with digital knowledge, but also to foster an integrated digital society that stimulates innovation, economic growth, and equitable access to digital opportunities. Yusuf Musa Dawali, president of the Djiboutian Chamber of Commerce, thanked the European Union for financing the project, describing the support as critically important to the Republic of Djibouti. Let's listen to him.
Ce projet eSkills.
This eSkill project showcases the added value of our cooperation and partnership not only with the European Union and our key implementing partner Expertise France, but also with both public and private sector stakeholders. The Chamber of Commerce, a long-standing institution whose core mission is to coordinate and support the private sector, will also play an active role in the activities and initiatives dedicated to it. Once again, I would like to thank the European Union and the ambassador for this collaboration, for your continued availability, and for the programs you are developing together with your team. We remain fully committed to contributing as a representative of the private sector and to promoting this program, and a program that began with us through a digital initiative in partnership with MEDEF International, later taken forward by the EU delegation, and which today gives real meaning to our shared mission.
The Minister of the Digital Economy said that the eSkills project reflects Djibouti's comprehensive digital vision and will enable youth, women, and entrepreneurs to fully benefit from technological opportunities. Let's listen to her.
For several years, Djibouti has been firmly committed to advancing its digital transformation. This ambition is anchored in the Djibouti 2035 vision, is strengthened by the Smart Nation roadmap and now integrated into the new 2025-2030 National Development Plan. All these strategies are driven by a clear belief no digital transition can succeed without investing in human skills. Our digital skills white paper confirms this urgency. Djibouti must accelerate the development of its talent, young people seeking employment, women aspiring to entrepreneurship, and professionals adapting to rapidly changing careers. The eSkill project directly responds to these needs, supported by the EU and implemented by Expertise France. It offers a structured and ambitious framework to strengthen employability, encourage entrepreneurship, and improve business competitiveness. A key pillar of the project is the Djibouti Code Campus, an innovative, free, and accessible school that opens the door to next-generation digital training. More than a campus, it is a driver of social mobility and long-term employability, preparing talents capable of supporting our country's economic transformation. The program is also deeply inclusive. With the creation of digital houses in the regions, we are bringing tools, training, and digital services closer to every citizen. The project also strengthens the private sector, working closely with the Chamber of Commerce and Logistics Sector Resources Center to build a strong and future-ready digital ecosystem.
Hosted the third African Forum to strengthen supply chains for health products from 18 to 20 November at the Kempinski Palace Hotel, a forum aimed at advancing Africa's self-sufficiency in health and pharmaceuticals. The event, chaired by the Prime Minister, Mr. Abdul Ghadir Kamil Mohammed, brought together health ministers from member states of the African Medicines Procurement Agency, general directors, international experts, health organization representatives, and senior officials from across the African continent. Discussions addressed the current system, chronic dependence on imports, limited regional production, and weak preparedness for future health crises, and stressed the need to adopt a full One Health approach, linking human, animal, and environmental health. Participants debated establishing regional pharmaceutical industrial hubs capable of competitive, tailored production to meet the continent's needs. The president of the African Medicine Procurement Association said that strengthening local production and developing pharmaceutical supply chains are key to achieving the continent's health self-sufficiency. He underscored the importance of joint African action to enhance local manufacturing capacity and ensuring the availability of essential medicines for all citizens, thereby improving health security and preparedness for a future crisis. The Finance, Public Economy and Planning Committee, chaired by Deputy Sharmanke Musare, held a session today to discuss two draft laws, including a bill approving the financial accounts of the Djibouti Office of Industrial and Commercial Property, ODPEC, for fiscal year 2024. Representing the government were Minister Mohamed Warsame Diria and Minister of Trade and Tourism, the institution's Director General, and their teams. At the session's conclusion, the committee issued a verbal opinion on the bill, which will be presented for adoption at the next plenary session of the National Assembly. Under the chairmanship of Djibouti Kaltoum Farah Said, the Legislation, Public Administration and Human Rights Committee met today to examine draft law establishing a notary's chamber. The government delegation included Minister Mohamed Warsame Diria, the Attorney General of the Republic, Mr. Jama' Suleiman Ali, with senior officials. Committee members conducted an in-depth analysis of the bill's provisions and proposed a series of amendments. The draft will be submitted for inclusion on the agenda of the next plenary session of the National Assembly. Shifting gears towards the international scene now, United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called on G20 to use their influence to address trade barriers that negatively affect developing countries.
UN wants to ensure effective representation for developing countries. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged G20 leaders to use their influence to combat trade barriers, noting that these obstacles systematically disadvantage developing countries and hinder their integration into the global economy. He stated that protectionist policies and taxation mechanisms apply in some regions inequalities between global north and south, particularly in the agricultural, technological, and industrial sector. This statement came. Antonio Guterres also emphasized that developing countries face limited access to international financing due to higher interest rates and unfavorable credit criteria, at a time when many states in global south are calling for a profound reform of multilateral system, urging that the institution created after the Second World War no longer reflect current geopolitical and economic realities.
Following the close of COP13 in Brazil that dured from 10 to 21 of November this year, Brazil continued on 24 November to present its environmental initiatives to the international community.
Following the closing COP30 held in Brazil from November 21, 2025, the countries continue on November 24 to highlight the result of its environmental initiative to the international community. The objective is to consolidate an innovative bioeconomic model designed to protect the Amazon rainforest while stimulating sustainable development based on responsible use of its resources. During the conference, Brazil presented a set of financing and development programs aimed at strengthening the capacity of local communities in the Amazon. This initiative encouraged the creation of value chain around forest products such as the Brazil nuts.
Well, by this, our beloved viewers, we finally conclude this edition. Thank you for being with us, and make sure to tune in later for more as usual. Have a wonderful evening and take care. Thank you.